Hello, 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 incredible ones. Darnyelle here with another beauty. Listen, I have the most amazingly beautiful clients in the world, and they are badass in what it is that they do for the planet too, just so we're clear. So I'm excited to introduce you and present to you another one of my amazing clients who's worked with me at Incredible Factor University. This time around, we are talking to the beautiful, incomparable Attiyah Blair.
Oh my, what an introduction.
I'm going to let her tell you about herself in her own words, but only after I tell you about her and why I love her. One of the things I love about how I connect with these powerful women is that our relationship doesn't just stay on business. I mean, Attiyah is my friend. I pray with her. She prays with me. She was at my wedding. And I met her because someone else suggested that we meet and we have coffee. What, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, however many years ago it was.
2011.
Oh, wow.
8 years ago, yeah.
8 years ago. But I'm grateful to know her and to have watched her come into her own. And she'll talk about what her journey has been. Because when I first met her and what she was doing is not what she's doing today. And she'll tell you all about that. But I just love her. And I'm just blessed to get to spend time with absolutely incredible, phenomenal women. So as you're listening to this interview, I want you to have pen and paper because there are going to be jewels that are dropped that can just help you in your life. And I want you to have your mind open to the possibility of what could be next for you if you decide that as a result of hearing what Attiyah has to share, we should have a conversation. So Attiyah, tell everybody who you are in your own words.
Hello, everyone. My name is Attiyah Blair. I am a real estate investor and a realtor as well. I've been investing passively for 11 years. It's been 3 years full-time, going on 3 years full-time. When I was working with, or the majority of my time working with Darnyelle, I was running a coaching and consulting business, a health and wellness coaching and consulting business. And that was, interesting. We'll get into that more later, I'm sure. But that's in a nutshell who I am and what I do.
Awesome. So tell everybody how we met and why you decided that you should come and work with me.
So I was working at NBC 10 and this author and speaker came in to be interviewed on the show. I shared with her that I was looking to start my own business and be a coach, and she mentioned Darnyelle. So I gave her a call, said, hey, can we meet to chat? And we did. We met for lunch. I wanted to pick her brain and just see what she could share with me to just help me move along. And she actually sold me into a workshop during that lunch. So I love telling this story because I believe the workshop was $297, the best $297 I've ever spent. I mean that, the best $297 I've ever spent. But I didn't even want to invest that much. I thought it was like, oh my God, it's $297. Are you kidding me? Whatever. And I've made many thousands of dollars on the content that I learned just in that one workshop. Let alone, all the other time we spent together, but just that one, $297. So anyway, I went to that workshop and I just wanted more. So I didn't become a full-time client initially. I just went to another workshop. Next time it was like $497. So every time I invested, I got way more than what I invested, I can't even say tenfold, way more than tenfold. So I continued to invest, and eventually I was making just enough money to hire Darnyelle as my coach full time.
Yeah, and the business, like she said, that she started with then was a health and wellness business. And what I love about Attiyah's story is that she realized it was not her love and her passion. It was the thing she thought she had to do because she had substantial weight loss herself, right? You tell the story. Don't let me tell it. You tell it.
So I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and I knew that I was going to start my own business. It was just a matter of what. So after some soul searching and some researching, I decided that I should just go into speaking full time. And so my thought process was, well, what do I speak about? What would people pay me to hear me talk about. And since I used to weigh almost 300 pounds, so I said, well, you know, there are lots of folks out here struggling to lose weight. Let me talk about that. And so that's what I went for. But I did learn, I feel like it took me too long to learn, but I think everything happened the way that it was supposed to, though. So I went in that direction. And after about 4 solid years, I just said, this isn't it, and started to figure out what the next step was.
Yeah. And so before we move on, I want to kind of pull back the layers on that, because I think it's important that if you're watching and you're an entrepreneur and you've been in business for a period of time and you're not getting the results that you want. Now, sidebar, Attiyah was doing okay. She was making money. She had clients that were investing 4 and 5 figures to work with her, but she didn't love it. And I believe that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you should have a business you love. You should want to jump out of the bed in the morning because you get an opportunity to serve a new client or to go do something that's going to bring a potential client through you. And that is not the way that she was feeling. And so we spent a lot of time doing some mindset coaching. Like, we kind of stepped away from the business strategy and just worked on the mindset. And do you remember, crying conversations between the two of us, trying to get to the root of what it was she really wanted to do and how to begin to do that. And I don't know how it eventually clicked for you. So I would love for you to share how you eventually knew that what you should be doing is what you had been doing all along passively, not only because you had a natural knack for it, but it brought you closer to your father. Like, you see, I know her too. I've known her for 8 years. I could tell her story, but you tell your story.
So, you know, it just kind of everything. I always believe everything's always working out for me. And so this whole shift just very naturally fell into place. I was certainly miserable in my business. It was depressing, to be honest. I was used to making good money. Like I said, I was at NBC News before starting this business. So I was making good money there, and I wanted to get back to at least what I was making and then some, but I was struggling to do that. And I didn't know what direction to go into, but I knew something had to change. So anyway, I got the opportunity to do a flip. And, you know, I'm a decor junkie. My dad was a general contractor, so I was very comfortable with construction. So I said, okay, I'll just, do a flip, give this a try. My first flip went extremely well. I made about $28,000 profit on my first flip, and it took only a few months to do that. And after that, I said, yeah, I'm getting rid of all of my coaching clients. I'm done. I'm done with that. And then that year I went on to do 3 more. So I did 4 flips in my first year. Profit was about the same on all of them. And I was hooked.
Yeah. And I will tell you, having worked with Attiyah when she was forcing herself into being the mindset reset coach and watching Attiyah, the real estate reset coach. Oh my gosh. So, and the reason why I wanted to have her share that with you is because you could be watching this and you could be struggling inside of the wrong opportunity for you to serve the world and shake the planet. And what coaches do is they help you to do the hard work you don't want to do to get to what the answer is. And you have to be willing to do the work. Like, I kind of joked about it, but I can remember I remember one Sunday we were having a coaching call. Like, I don't do coaching calls on Sunday, but I have this commitment to my clients that if we work together, I'm your partner and I'm not going to leave you. It's kind of like Jesus. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm going to make sure that you have everything that you need. And she needed me on a Sunday, and I availed myself so that she could ask herself those really hard questions and to be comfortable with the answer. You know, Attiyah's story is not a story of broke and lack. She has abundance, has always been surrounded by abundance of love, as well as not missing anything that was important to her. So everybody's story is not the story of struggle and they were, they weren't eating like me, like eating ramen noodle. Like, not everybody's story is that. And sometimes it is harder to get to the answer when you don't have typical struggle.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to do your work, to do the inner work to get to the answer, because once you do, you get in alignment. And when you're in alignment, everything clicks. And that's what you just heard Attiyah say. She got an alignment. I don't know if part of it was, is this really a business? I think you're a believer now, but I think part of it before was like, am I really helping anybody if I'm flipping real estate, right? But I think now you know, because you're property management, you've got tenants in your property, like, you know what I mean? But I think sometimes when we think about what it is we love and what we want to do all day long, barefoot and naked, we tend to diminish how powerful and impactful that can be for other people. And that's why it's important to have someone helping you do the work. So now let's fast forward. So for the last 3 years, she's been in an entirely different business. We haven't worked together in about 3 years, but the principles that we worked on when we worked together on your other business, how are they helping you in your business today?
Oh my goodness. So I actually, I reached out to you, I guess that was in November. I want to say it was around November. So I had so many people asking me for mentorship. I knew that I needed to create some kind of program so I can help as many people as possible. So I can't even say I went back to, because I have tons of, I wish I had my workbooks right here. I have tons of, workbooks from the different programs and workshops that I've done with you. But I literally had everything in my head. I was like, oh, I need to create this workshop. Okay, well, this is how I get people into my funnel. This is how I get people to sign up for a call with me. This is how I handle the call. This is how I price it. Like, I knew everything. And even down to, after I get people in the program, this is what I need to give them to get ready to prepare for the class. This is the kind of experience I want to give them when they get there, so on and so forth. Everything was in my head. I literally didn't need to even go back and look at any notes. So just, to put it all in a nutshell, I want to say so I wanted to do a small workshop intensive, anywhere from 10 to 15 people. I actually wanted 10 people, and it sold out in less than 2 weeks. I was so blown away by this. I wasn't prepared. I said, I'm just going to put this workshop out here and we'll just see what happens, even though it's probably going to be like 3 people. 10 people signed up, in about 2 weeks. So I extended it to 15 people. So long story short, I made $30,000 in 1 month from information I got from Darnyelle 4 or 5 years ago. Incredible. She's the incredible one. Incredible. Yeah.
And the key thing there is this is about transferable skill, right? So when you put your why and your purpose into your work and you take what you've already learned, it's going to be a mashup. It's going to be successful. I mean, I remember the text, just like, girl, I didn't even have to pull out my notes. I closed 10 people into this program and most of them paid in full. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's all win. And most people need to understand how the process, like, did you hear her? She said, this is how I had to market it. This is how I had to set it up. This is how I had to market it. This is what I had to say. Like, everything that I taught her methodically, she was able to rinse and repeat that in this now new business, the business that she was born to be running, and get results instantly over and above the money that she's making when she is flipping a property or moving a tenant into a new house. And you should really go look her up on Instagram. Her renos are just like, I can't believe that's the same place. It's like what you watch on TV, except for you actually know the person. So you know it's not staged in any way. It's like legit that this kind of stuff really can happen. And what would you say, like, if you had to sum up in a nutshell, the change that us working together has made in your life, like, what would you say? Like, how would you respond to that?
Oh man, that's such a big question. I'll just start talking. So one, I remember when I first started out as an entrepreneur, you don't know what to do. You don't know how. I remember that first workshop, which was called Get Paid, How to Price, Package, and Market Your Incredible Factor. I remember that from 8 years ago. That's how powerful it was for me. I didn't know what to charge. I was charging $25 per coaching session. And Darnyelle almost hit me upside my head when I told her that. And when I left that workshop, I was then charging, well, it was more for value. So I was packaging my services, and my clients, I think we started out around $400, but after a few years of work, me feeling confident and then really genuinely being able to add more value to my clients, my packages range from nothing was less than like $2,500, and my largest package for VIPs were $6,000 for those packages, and people paid for them and they bought them. So one is giving me confidence as an entrepreneur. It is giving, and that's huge. When you say to someone, I'm going to charge you $2,000 to spend a day with me, or half a day in a group. If you want me for a day, that's more like $10,000 if you want a one-on-one. And for me to say that with confidence, that's significant, you know? And if you are a starting or a new entrepreneur, you understand the significance of that. So anyway, it's giving me confidence around my prices. It is giving me time back, because being an entrepreneur, most people don't create a business, they create a job. So Darnyelle has taught me how to create a business that works around my life and my schedule. I'm a travel junkie. I love to travel. And I'm because of the systems I've learned from Darnyelle, I'm able to have a certain amount of freedom and flexibility, where I have different people and programs in place where the work is getting done, whether I'm in the nitty gritty of things every day or not. And I'm doing more and more of that to be even further removed from my business. So it's given me confidence, freedom, and it's really changed my life and the life of my family members. When you are pulling in multiple six figures a year, working on getting to $1 million, that's a game changer. That changes your life. I'm a giver, my husband and I were givers. So we take care, we do our best to, help the people around us. That, I had a cousin who reached out a little while ago. We were just talking. He wasn't reaching out to ask for anything. But he mentioned, hey, they just kicked me out of classes. I'm in my last semester of college and I can't finish because I haven't paid my bill from the previous semester. And I just said, well, how much is it? He told me what it was. I spoke to my husband and said, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z. And we paid the bill for him. Do you know how significant that is? Yeah. So now he's able to get a better job, and he just graduated. His graduation was 3 weeks ago, which was so cool. So we have, and our moms, we spoil our moms to be able to take care of them, as best as we can, and to honor them for their sacrifice. It's a game changer for your life. So you've definitely changed my life in a big way.
Yeah. And I love that, because I think that's why we do it. Like, at least I don't make money just so that I can sit high on the hog and look down at all the little people. Like, who does that, right? It's so that you can help others. Like, I think, you think about the Oprahs or the Bill Gates or the Attiyah Blairs of the world, right? Who travel to Africa and adopt an entire village, right? You think about all of those philanthropists that are out there, and you want to do it. And the only way you can help is if you're making great money. For me, that's what unlocking six-figure cash flow is all about. It's not just so that we can sit over here and, count our paper. It's so that we can shape the planet, so we can enact change in other people's lives who, for whatever reason, aren't able to do it for themselves. Like, that's what entrepreneurship really is, right? I think every entrepreneur should be a philanthropist, because what tends to happen is you just continue the flow of abundance in your way, so that the houses you want to buy, no matter how many offers went in, yours is the one that gets accepted, right? Like that kind of thing. The supplies that you need to finish the property with the high-end finishes that are normally this price, when you come in, they've just reduced the price by this amount. That's how you get those types of things working for you. So, they're listening and they're like, okay, what would you share with them about why they should schedule a conversation with me or a member of the team to see if I could be the right fit to help them to unlock everything that they're wanting in their life?
I can honestly say anytime you invest with Darnyelle or Incredible One Enterprises, you get the money back. I feel like that's the biggest hindrance to people, because if it were free, everyone would, show up and be there. One, making that investment teaches you to respect the knowledge. So making the investment is really important. But I think if you're a new entrepreneur and you don't have systems in place and you don't have the right people in place and you don't have the right mindset is critical as an entrepreneur. You can't afford. That's what when I finally became a client with Darnyelle full-time, instead of just dating her and going to different workshops, it was because I realized that I could no longer afford not to have her as my coach. Before, it was like I felt like I could not afford her. But then I got to a place where I said, I literally cannot afford not to have her, in my, by my side 24/7 in my business. So if you're nervous, if you're on the fence, you really have nothing to lose. You'll lose more by waiting and being afraid and not taking action than you will by taking action and, getting all the knowledge that she has. And another thing I love about working with Darnyelle, and the reason why I stayed and continued to work with her for so long, is because, all right, when I met her in 2011, she knew what she knew and she taught me when she knew. In 2012, 13, 14, 15, she's constantly up leveling herself. She has a coach. She's constantly learning more. So as she learns more, I'm learning more. So it wasn't the same thing every year, year after year. And that's the kind of coach that you want to have, somebody who's not staying the same, because you certainly don't want to stay the same.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to share in the last few moments you want to leave with them?
I guess the only other thing that I didn't mention was, there are tons of coaches out here, tons of business coaches, tons of people making whatever promises they're making. One of the reasons why I was attracted to Darnyelle versus somebody else was because of her heart, who she is as a person. She's fun to work with, but she genuinely cares. Everyone doesn't really care. Like when I say I care, I mean she is totally committed to your success, totally committed to you reaching your goals. She's holding you accountable, helping you create systems to stay accountable and reaching your goals. She really cares and really takes it personal if you're not reaching your goal. You need somebody like that on your team. Being an entrepreneur can be extremely lonely. It can be extremely confusing. And not only do you get Darnyelle, you get the tribe, the Incredible One Enterprises tribe. So I met dozens and dozens of amazing other entrepreneurs while being in her program. We had these quarterly touch points where we were able to work on our business instead of working in our business like we do, in the rat race day to day. That was a game changer. So just having this network of other people, like-minded folks around you, it's significant. I can't say that enough.
Yeah. And I thank you for that. And I think that, I've been doing these interviews with several clients and everyone's like, there's nothing like it on the planet. And it really isn't, because the other thing is I have this firm commitment to take and integrate everything you're doing into your spirituality and making sure that your connection and relationship with God is at the forefront of your business. I don't want your, I don't want to say religion, because it's not about religion. It's more about relationship, but I don't want it sitting over there and you pick it up when you stop working your business every single day. I want it to be integrated into everything that you're doing. And the clients that we get to work with at various stages, we do from time to time, we still have brand new entrepreneurs. We do that very few. I actually had to create a program specifically for the newer entrepreneur, because our 12-month program, you have to be over 6 figures to be in. Firm, hold. I'm checking receipts before I let you in this program, because of the way that we shift the trajectory of your business, right? You guys have been watching these interviews and you've been talking to multiple 6-figure after multiple 6-figure business owner that is in this program. It is not a good idea to put you in the room with them if you're at a different place. So I had to create another program to be able to serve those people, because I want you to get to 6 figures so that I can put you in the mastermind, but I want to create an environment where you are truly synergizing with your peers in order to be able to make it happen. But what we do and how we do it, I don't even know if we can really encapsulate it, because I have an anointing on my life. I am fully usable by God, for God, through God, to use it to see you and your business the way that God sees you and your business, to hold a space for you until you can see it for yourself, so that you can have the confidence to say, like, that was my first time hearing that if you want to spend a day with Miss Attiyah, it's 10 G. I'm excited. But I can't say that, 8 years ago, that would have ever come out of her mouth.
I mean, like $59.99.
Right, exactly. Like, okay, it's $25 an hour, like $500 for the day. Like, and you come to learn that it's not about an hour of your time, right? It's about the value. You heard Attiyah say that. It's about the value, the transferable results that you're teaching. Even when she was working in health and wellness, she was teaching these women how to eat, how to be better stewards over their vessel. That's life change. If you just stick with it, like, it would change everything. And even now in the work that she's doing and the aspiring real estate investors that she's mentoring, she's helping them to understand how they can build $1 million portfolio. $1 million in holdings in real estate is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So it's just totally about understanding who you are and what you bring to the table, and then setting yourself up in a way where it becomes easy and effortless for you to be able to do that work, earn what you want to earn for it, and help others get what they want, which is the true Planet Shake. So if you're listening and you're like, I'm in, I got to figure this out, schedule a call. It doesn't cost you anything to have a conversation with me or a member of my team, but do me a favor, only schedule a call if you are serious, if you are great at what you do, and you really want to figure out how to shake the planet while experiencing abundance financially and spiritually. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time if you're not serious, ready, willing, and able to invest in yourself through whatever it is that I might suggest to help you to get whatever it is that you are desiring in your life. All you'll need to do is to go to Darnyelle.com/session, Darnyelle.com/session. So, Attiyah, I want to just thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure.
And those of you who have been watching, I want to thank you for hanging out and watching us. Just know in everything that I believe that you deserve a business that serves you. And I also believe that you should not have to step over dollars to pick up pennies in order to build it. So until we meet again, be better, be stronger, and more than anything, be incredible. I'll see you next time. Take care.